Cookies of the month have really become one of my favorite times because I do make cookies all the time and I think it is the perfect segue into the baking world. If you don't bake a lot, bake a cookie. It usually, not always, turns out right. And don't worry, these ones are gonna turn out right. They're a little bit different because they are cornmeal cookies. So part of the flour is cornmeal, so it gives a great texture and a great flavor. And they're a sandwich cookie. Who doesn't love a sandwich cookie? They have a great buttercream filling and I cannot wait for you to try these. You know the drill when it comes to cookies. To start, we're gonna take some room temperature butter and some sugar. I'm doing this with a hand mixer because, well, my mixer's a little out of commission. I don't know, overworked it and it doesn't seem to be working the best, but a hand mixer works great or a stand mixer. Once your sugar and butter are creamed and they are light and fluffy, this is an important part, cream a little bit longer than you think because you definitely want it light and fluffy. You can add an egg yolk. These are kind of a rich butter cookie, so we don't really need a lot of moisture that the white has, so we're just gonna add that yolk. And I'm not always perfect when it comes to separating eggs, so sometimes I just do it with my hand because it's easier. Doesn't look sanitary, but I have very clean hands. After you mix in that yolk, you can add some vanilla and some salt. Next is just some dry ingredients. Seriously guys, these really are simple cookies. Some all-purpose flour, and then the star ingredient of these, the cornmeal. Just mix them up until they come together. As you can see, they're gonna be kind of crumbly, and this hand mixer doesn't mix it the best. So you just may need to finish with a spatula or your hands just to make sure the dough comes together in a good mass. It's really like a butter cookie, so it should just be a pretty thick and firm cookie dough. Once it's done, you can just scoop them onto parchment-lined baking sheets. I use a cookie scoop because you have uniform cookies then. Roll them in a ball and then place them right on your parchment-lined baking sheets. And then I like to press them down. And to do that, I spray the back of a measuring cup or a regular glass just so it doesn't stick as bad. They are still gonna stick a little bit because they're a slightly sticky cookie, but you can peel them off just fine. Once you've been pressed down, you can just put them right into your preheated oven and bake them until they're slightly crisp on the edge, just like any other cookie, and still soft in the middle. Then pull them out of the oven and let them finish baking on the pan. This is really an essential part of cookie baking. You don't want to take them off the pan right away because they'll finish baking. After about 5 minutes on the pan, you can remove them to a cooling rack and let them cool completely. While they're cooling, you can bake the other batch and you can get your buttercream ready. I mean, who doesn't like buttercream? And it kind of speaks for itself. You hardly need a recipe, but let me just tell you. You want to take some room temperature butter and beat it up to make sure it is very soft. Add some powdered sugar. At first it's gonna look crumbly, but then it will come together. And then add some honey. I mean, honey, cornmeal, or cornbread, that's a very traditional combination. And in these cookies, it is all the more traditional. It's like a sweet take on a fabulous cornbread. What could be better? Mix that in, and then you can add the rest of your sugar. You can kind of go to the consistency of what you feel is right. You know, sometimes at different times of the year, it takes a little bit more or less sugar. Add some vanilla. Just mix it in until it's completely smooth, and then the cookies should be cooled and ready to put together. Seriously, these are the easiest sandwich cookies. Pick up one cookie, slather on some of that delicious buttercream, then put another cookie on top. You can't really do this wrong. I mean, you can add a lot of buttercream, but there isn't too much. Sandwich them up, eat them, freeze them. I don't see why you'll need to because you'll probably eat them all, but these seriously are such a delicious cookie. Slightly different with that texture and flavor of the cornmeal, and they are a great bright spot during these cold winter days. If you agree, make sure to like this video and share it around on Instagram and Facebook. I love to hear from you guys and can't wait to see how you're baking up these cookies this winter.